How's it going, everybody? RyeSquad here today, and we are back with our Philadelphia Flyers franchise mode here in episode number 2, technically, because I titled the first one episode 0. And today, guys, we are going to get up to the trade deadline. I want to slow roll the first season so you guys can really communicate with me and let me know down in the comments. I'm loving all the comments, by the way. Let me know your thoughts of this current season and the reverse retros. I should actually say, what's your favorite reverse retro? What do you hate one? Do you hate your teams? Do you love it? Are you going to instantly go buy it? I know I'm probably going to buy the Sabres reverse retro. I think it's so sick, but I know Florida's is pretty sweet. And I do actually like the Boston Bruins one. I know that's one kind of controversial with some people, but today, guys, we're going to get up to the trade deadline and we're going to assess where we're at. I'm going to ask you guys what we should do. Should we sell off? Should we buy? Or should we stay put there? But guys, we are literally 9 subscribers away at the time of recording from 3,000 subscribers. And it would mean a lot to me, guys, if you did subscribe. If you are new or if you're watching these videos and you're enjoying them at all, it would mean a ton to me if we could get to that 3,000 subscriber mark by this weekend when you see this video come out. So that would mean a ton to me. But here we go, guys. And in the last one, we were suffering a bit from the injury bug. So I decided to turn the injuries down. I turned the slider down. I'll show you guys down to 20. And I figured 20 was a good number because 10, I feel like they almost never happen unless they're serious. With 20, we'll get some. 50 didn't seem outrageous in the sense that we were losing guys like for the entire season, but it was definitely too much for an enjoyable experience from the viewer's point of view, and definitely not as enjoyable for me. But with 20, I'm hoping that we can stay at least a little bit healthier. And speaking of staying healthy, we may have a chance at the playoffs. We're 1 point behind the Penguins for the 3rd spot in the division, and we're a point above the Devils, and we could easily fall out. So this is going to be a really interesting episode coming here through the next couple months up to the trade deadline. I think we got 2.5 months to simulate through, but we still got the first line of James Van Riemsdyk, Sean Couturier, and Travis Konechny. Thankfully, they're all staying healthy. Joel Farabee, Kevin Hayes, and Owen Tippett. Noah Cates, Scott Lawton, and Zach McEwen, with Wade Allison, Patrick Brown, and Nicholas Delorier scratched. Well, Risto's almost back and healthy. Adam Brooks is scratched just because we just needed another body there. And then Cam York, Morgan Frost, and Cam Atkinson. So I guess the thing is, don't be named Cam and you'll be healthy. And there's no injury report from this screen. That's great. So we'll go ahead and check out how long they're all out for. Risto should be back pretty darn soon, I'm pretty sure. Taking a look at the injury report. Cam Atkinson is pending evaluation. I think they said he's going to be back in March. Rasmus Ristolainen is playable. He's returning fully in 2 days, so we may just hold him out until then. Morgan Frost has got another week or so, and then same thing here for Cam York. So we're going to get healthy here pretty soon, and it might help us make a push, or it might actually hurt us. Who knows? But we're here at December 4th. The trade deadline is going to be in late February. I'm going to say January. Yep, looks good. And then it's actually early March this year. So Saturday, March 4th. So we can actually get up to March probably 2nd, just to not jump too far ahead and maybe scout out some trades and players that we would trade. Now, I know Tate Anderson, you mentioned you've been subscribed for 2 days, so thank you for subscribing, but you mentioned that there's no realistic trade involving Kevin Hayes. I kind of agree. I was kind of being optimistic and hopeful. Now, if a team calls me and they kind of fit the no trade clause criteria, because he does have, I believe, a 12 team no trade clause. I'm pulling it up right now on Cap Friendly. Kevin Hayes has a 12 team no trade list, right? So there are 20 teams in the NHL that we could technically trade him to. So I'll take a look at the standings, assuming that those teams at the bottom 12 are not teams that we can trade him to. I'd assume the next 20 higher we could if he does waive it. But I don't think anybody would realistically want Kevin Hayes on his contract. As far as points are concerned, he's having an okay season, right? 21 points in 25 games. It's actually pretty darn good, right? He's on pace for like 70 points in 82 games, which would be insane. And I think it'd be great value. And it could be something that we look to maybe move him in the offseason if he jumps. Fool somebody into thinking that he's actually going to produce that way all the time. But that's enough waffling from me. We are going to jump into the sim. We got 2 games against Colorado, who are looking solid. Washington looks solid. That's actually a big one if we want to make the playoffs. I personally don't think we should make the playoffs. I think it'd be bad for this team. But hey, once you're in the dance, anything can happen. I just don't think we've got that top-end talent that's going to carry us through some of these series against teams like Toronto. Even games again, like the Hurricanes. Oh my God, the New York York Rangers, Penguin, right? We got to make it through our own division. The Lightning, God. Apparently the Red Wings are insane, but that could always change. But here we go. We'll go up another 2 weeks here to the 18th. And okay, so Logan Thompson's happy because of his ice time, and Rasmus Ristolainen is okay. Central Scouting view the draft class. Connor, but why do we not know the potential? Joshua Jacobs is a gem. Guys, why are we not scouting anybody's potential up at the top? That could be kind of important for us to know. Anybody? Okay. I'm gonna edit the lines and put Rasmus Ristolainen back in first. But then I'm going to get our scouts on the right track. And we beat them in overtime. We beat the Colorado Avalanche in overtime. That's crazy. I'm going to assign the scouts and slap them into shape. And I will see you guys in just a minute. There we go, guys. We are all set with our scouts. I did end up I'm going to hire 2 more scouts, and we will just pause real quick and get that done. But as much as I care about the character assessment of the 256th prospect on the board, I'd rather know the potential and ability of the players in the top 10. Call that a flaw on my part as a GM, but I think we all can understand why I care more. Cam York has returned. Go to roster moves. Okay, cool. So we need to send down a defenseman. It'll probably be Sealer, but he's got to pass through waivers, but I don't personally care all that much. 2-way contract, Connaughton. I think Sealer was pretty poor when he was up here, not gonna lie. Yeah, Sealer was poor. I mean, Connaughton, yeah, we'll send Connaughton down. Confirm. He's got to clear through waivers, so I'm not too upset. And now we're going to edit our lines, and we're starting to get healthier again, which is good news. Like I said, we were going to end up getting healthier, but there we go. I cannot. Oh, do I have to go into the scratched and like options or like I can't advance. I can't click on him at all. EA, can I please put him in my lineup? Okay, thank you. Now we can put him in the line. I don't know why that was like that, but now we got Cam York and Ristolainen. Oh god. Let's put Provorov up. Oh, let's not. Sanheim. Yeah, no, I like Sanheim. He's got medium top 4. Provorov's got medium elite. So we'll do that. We'll give Provorov the extra ice time. Sanheim has been okay, but there we go. All right, and now I have to assign those scouts. Our scouting is pretty much well set up now at this point. USA West, yeah, he already has decided. That's not a bad. That's kind of what I wanted. But sometimes they make really stupid decisions and are like, yeah, I don't feel like scouting the top players. I feel like scouting players in the 200s, which I never understood why. I like the new scouting system. It definitely needs an overhaul, in my opinion, though. Like, it's just, you cannot trust your scouts. And I don't know why I did, but, and I can tell that that's not one I did. So we will go ahead and, oh, I believe is that guy's name really Bonk? I absolutely love that. Anyway, the scouting does need, I think, some work. I wish you could, like, prioritize potential and comparison, right? So then I could just say, hey, scout that before you scout anything else. But we'll go here and do potential and comparison for this group of guys, and there we go. Awesome. So we are all set now with our scouting, and we are officially ready to start simulating again. But I'm pretty satisfied with how things are going. Lost to the Capitals. We beat the Vegas Golden Knights, and we're really getting healthy, aren't we? Oh, that feels so good. So we'll quick substitute in Frost there. I'll move him up for Lawton, so it'll be Cates, Frost, and McEwen. McEwen he's a grinder. Maybe I want to move Wade Allison up, the power forward. Yeah, he's pretty solid all around. He's got a good shot. And then Delorier, Lawton, McEwen. Although Lawton, that being said, is a really good two-way forward. So I could move him up there. And then can any of these guys take face-offs? Face-offs. 65, 65, 70. McEwen can take face-offs. There we go. So Cates, Frost, Lawton. And I think Lawton is probably better at face-offs than Frost. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. And all right, so I'm satisfied with these lines. Let's double check the power play didn't get all screwed up. We got D'Angelo. Ellis is on the power play. Why did James Van Riemsdyk get bumped off the power play? Switch him with Ryan Ellis, please. Van Riemsdyk, switch him with D'Angelo, and then switch him with Konechny, who's right-handed, and then put Farabee in the slot. There we go. All right, so Konechny and Van Riemsdyk, and on the power play 2, you got Hayes. I don't know why we have Grinder McEwen out there over a guy like Tippett. Tippett is a sniper. I'd like him out there. Tippett is also right-handed, so there we go. Flip-flop those guys. Lawton in the middle, I don't want that. I would rather have Morgan Frost, the playmaker, change him there. Awesome. And we're all set there. And penalty kill. We want to set up our penalty kill as well. Couturier, Allison. Couturier, Allison with Sanheim and Ellis. Frost, McEwen, Provorov, D'Angelo. And then Lawton, Delorier with Risto and Konechny. Konechny? No. How about York? I get it. He's an offensive defenseman, but still. All right. So we are all set there with the lines, and we can proceed. Cam York is fully healed. I already have him in the lineup, and we get 3 straight wins, losing to the Devils, but beating the Rangers. And we're now second. We're 1 point behind the Rangers now in the division. All right, let's go another 2 weeks forward. This team is apparently insane. A shootout win against Columbus, a win against the Leafs. We lose to the Hurricanes. Against the Sharks, we're going to lose. And against the Kings, we lose. Okay, that's fine. Still, oh wow, look at how quickly we can drop, though. We could literally end up being last in the division in 1 game. This division is insanely tight. Holy smokes. All right, against Anaheim, we win. Arizona, we lose in a shootout, because of course we do. We beat Toronto again. We seem to have their number. We get smacked by the Capitals, but avenge that loss with a 3-2 win. And I got to say, guys, the injuries not being as prevalent, but still can happen, making me feel a lot better. But there we go. Currently, with 2 games in hand on the Blue Jackets, we look safe right now in the wild card. In the Atlantic, though, the Bruins are pretty far off, so I don't think that it's that crazy to think that we might be a playoff team. Let's see if we can get hot here. I don't know. I'm not going to oppose making the playoffs, obviously, but I don't want. It's literally Subban for a 3rd and just. There's Subban for a 4th, and I don't want that because we've got Carter Hart. Overtime loss, that's fine. Back-to-back shootout wins and a win that's 3 straight wins. And then they want to give us. I don't want a goalie. I should set my. Oh God, I still don't want a goalie, Buffalo. Sorry that you can't pawn off one of your many goalies on me. Currently sitting in 2nd place in the division. Again, 4 points out of the bottom of the division. But we're not 4 points out of a good spot, really. 27, 18, and 5. What I mean by that is, like, you take a look at the entire league. You scroll down here. We're in 8th place right now with 59 points. You know, we are 4 points out of 18th, 6 points out of 20th in the league. It's a tight one this season. Oh, my God. Until you get to the Detroit Red Wings, who were insane, and now they're not insane. Calgary, oh my God, things are going wrong in Calgary. Holy smokes. But right now, it's really tight because we could miss the playoffs and not get a good lottery spot, which is a little concerning. We'll go another 2 weeks here. Not a lot of games. We get maybe the All-Star break, that is. Could be. It's not the Olympic year, no, and they wouldn't send him anyway. All right, but look at that. Now we're outside looking in with 61 points. Would be 2nd place in the Atlantic, which is crazy. We're currently 6th in the 61 points would be right there in a wild card spot in the Central, right there close to a wild card spot in the Pacific. So we're a pretty average team at 28, 20, and 5, though. We seem to be just grinding out some of these games, closely losing. But we're almost up to the trade deadline, and a 5-4 win pushes us back into 2nd. We do beat Seattle, sweep the season series, that is. And then Pius Suter for 2/3. We have multiple thirds. I would like to only give up 1. Oh, God, Pius Suter, 77. Is he unhappy? Can I see his morale? Is it because he's unhappy? Those stats don't look like a 77 overall player, to be honest. It looks like he might just be unhappy. Let's go ahead, and I think we can, if we hit add item, we can see morale. Can we see his happiness? I don't think so. Okay, I guess we can't. Yeah, I think you used to be able to see their morale, unless they were on your team. You could only see that. But it would be nice to know, because he does not look like a guy that is a 77 overall. Pius Suter, he's 26. He's not playing at all, right? He's got that 10 minutes of time on ice. He looks solid, but do I want to give up a third for a guy that's, you know, just average, right? His overall may be a 77. These stats don't suggest he is a 77. He's more like an 80 probably, but he's not a guy that I think I want to acquire at 26. Could be a trade deadline acquisition, but I think I'm going to decline this trade, right? We could probably give up the Rangers and let them keep their third and just do, oh, that'd be an overpayment too. So we could get Suter for less. I don't think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to decline that trade for now. Wait until you guys can chime in. I can always call them back and say, hey, what do you want? And oh my God, we win, what is it, 6 of our last 7? 7 of our last 8 games we've won? And we're now 73 points? The second best team in the NHL? Are you kidding me? Pittsburgh has 2 games in hand on us. And again, we are still 5 points out of, 5 points away from missing the playoffs. 5 points away from missing the playoffs is insane. We'll get up here past this Rangers game. The Calgary Flames fired their coach. I don't blame them. Cam Atkinson is okay to return to the lineup and will now count against the salary cap. We will send down Brown. He has to clear waivers, but I'm not worried about him clearing waivers. He lost morale for being sent down. That's fine. Morgan Frost is now up to an 80, and I think, who do we want to? Wade Allison, probably. We'll scratch Wade Allison, I think, would be the best way to go. And I can't insert, oh my God. I can't insert Cam Atkinson unless I go, if you do the instant substitution, you've got to do the full-on substitution. Yes, there we go. Move him up, move him up. Frost, I think I want to play Frost. I mean, how's Lawton doing? They're not bad. Honestly, Noah Cates is a +1. I am leaving him there, and I'm moving Scott Lawton to the bottom. Morgan Frost can center that line of Cates, Frost, and Tippett. Atkinson's back with Hayes and Farabee, and James Van Riemsdyk is playing with Couturier and Konechny. Konechny's up to an 85 as well. Defensively, we're looking healthy, and in goal, we are still healthy. Carter Hart's up to an 87. Oh, boys, we are going to have ourselves a goalie. All right, but power play, I think I'd like to get him on the power play. Oh, again, why is Provorov on the power play? They're not messing with my lines. I know that for a fact. Provorov here is a bit better. No, Ryan Ellis is better there. So we will get Cam Atkinson there on the power play. He's the right-handed shot. Frost shoots lefty, so I think we'll do that. Owen Tippett, 6'1". He's got a good shot, but I don't think it's as good as Cam Atkinson's. Actually, it might be better, considering he's got that power, just a little less accurate. So we'll put Cam Atkinson in the middle. His hand-to-eye is 88. That's really quite good. Owen Tippett's is only 86, and that's what we're looking for Tips. Kevin Hayes is that big body in front of the net. And I think if I check the penalty kill, Cam Atkinson should not be on the penalty kill. He's a sniper, but he fits the penalty kill. I think I will quickly swap him with a guy like Lawton. Lawton and Couturier feels fine to me. And then having Atkinson center. Oh, I don't like that. Atkinson for probably want to move him out of that spot. Frost, I think, is playing on one of the penalty kills already. Yes, he is. He's playing with McEwen there. McEwen and Frost. Couturier and Lawton. Let's get Kevin Hayes in there. Kevin Hayes is a power forward. Put him in there. Flip-flop him with Frost. The penalty kill line 3 is not great. This is not great. I don't know why, but it is what it is. All right, so the lines are all set now that Cam Atkinson's back, which is phenomenal. That's great. And we win in a shootout against the Rangers, and we head into the trade deadline with 75 points. 6 points above the Hurricanes, and that would still be a playoff team. 7 points above the Rangers, and in first in the Metropolitan Division. Now, 75 points is not as good as the Lightning, but it's the 3rd best record in the NHL. 4th best because the Predators have done it in fewer games, but still a solid division leader. The locker room chemistry at 78%. Players are loving it here, and we have a team that's clicking. I don't know what to say about this team, guys. I don't know what we're doing exceptionally well. 3.07 goals for per game is good enough for 4th in the division. Goals against per game is 2. It's 4th again. We're such a middle of the road team. Our power play is at 19.7%. And our penalty kills at 87%. Okay, I mean, nothing that we're doing really screams to me that we're that good of a team. I mean, it's 0.1, right? Our goal differential per game is 0.1. It's a +6 total goal difference. I don't think we're as good as we're showing here, but I mean, never let that get in the way of a good cup run. Would it be wiser for us to, oh God, to sell off? I don't know if I can realistically say that we would sell off if we were the 4th best team in the league, but the statistics show that we're not as good as the teams around us. Tampa Bay scoring 1.1 more goals per game. 0.3 here for Vegas. 0.25 for the Predators. 0.1 for us. 0.4 for the Penguins. 0.1 for the Avs. 0.5 for the Stars. 0.2 for the Ducks. Okay. 0.2 for the Jets. 0.1.5 for the Kings. I don't know, guys. Maybe we are as good as it suggests. I feel like we're getting lucky with some of our results. I don't know, though. Let's check out who's individually doing well and getting us to the spot in which we are at. And it's Couturier. He's a +5, 17 goals. James Van Riemsdyk, 25 goals. And that could be one where we move on from him just to get a pick. 25 points there for James Van Riemsdyk. He's shooting 13.7%. He's not even shooting all that much, but he's got 46 points. Kevin Hayes with 45. Joel Farabee, the -3 hurts, but he's got 43 points. Taking a look at just the forwards here. Owen Tippett. You'll love to see Owen Tippett at 24. Still got room to grow at an 81. The sniper putting in 15 goals there on the 2nd, 3rd line. A middle 6 sniper. You love it. Morgan Frost having a good season. 24 points in 47 games. That's actually really good. Scott Lawton's solid. Cates is having a good year. Cam Atkinson. 15 points in 26 games is certainly nothing to scoff at. But for 2 more years after this at 5.7, not good enough. He was hurt for a long time, though. But taking a look here, Delorier, yeah, the 4th line's bad, but we knew that was going to happen. Defensively, D'Angelo is certainly benefiting from, wow, just being him. Only 8 power play points, even though I have him listed as the power play quarterback on power play 1. Ellis and Provorov are also doing well. Cam York, 12, and then, yeah, Risto. Yeah, okay. So Sanheim, a little bit disappointing to see Sanheim doing this. Average, but Logan Thompson having a good season as our backup, and our starter Carter Hart's no slouch, 26, 19, and 5 with 2 shutouts, 906 and 294. I'd like to see be a little bit better, but ultimately, guys, the team's solid. I don't trust it. I seriously, I don't trust our team to really do anything in the playoffs. I don't want to sell off and be like, oh well, and then all of a sudden we just miss out on a chance to win, but. James Van Riemsdyk right now, he's not going to net us a 1st, but he could get us a 2nd and a 3rd, a 2nd and a 3rd from the Penguins. I'd probably do the Nashville Predators 2nd and 3rd if I was going to move on from him. Owen Pickering, I think it's Owen. And then the Winnipeg Jets 2nd and a 4th. Pickering right now could be a prospect. I think the 2nd and a 3rd is probably the best we're going to get. Yeah, it is Owen Pickering, 19, medium top 4. And I think Nashville was the team who was in. Would Nashville do this trade realistically? They're 35, 19, and 5. Could I? Oh my God, Roman Yossi. Look, good Lord. Okay, can we squeeze a 1st? I feel like we could squeeze a 1st out of it. I don't think it's gonna work, but if we retained half of James Van Riemsdyk's salary, it could come close. And I think that would be realistic. If I drove a hard bargain for Nashville, maybe threw something else in, but we can definitely end up getting the 2nd and the 3rd without a doubt. To me, I think, especially retaining half of his salary. I think the half salary thing is worth it because they don't have much cap space to work with, but I don't think anybody else really needs to be moved on from. Tony DeAngelo at 86, got 2 years left on that deal. Guys, this team's looking pretty solid. We may need to make some minor adjustments. As far as expiring deals in the NHL, Sanheim, but we already have him extended. Cam York. James Van Riemsdyk is the big one here. Frost will need to extend because I'm liking him. Cates as well. I'll take Noah Cates, putting in solid 20 points in 12 minutes of time on ice. I'm fine with that. Nobody else here seems to be really that valuable. McEwen, maybe somebody I can move for a late round pick if somebody wants to shore up their depth. Or we could end up looking at that Pius Suter deal from the Detroit Red Wings. They were a team that called. They wanted to offer him to us. Did he get any happier is the question. He was down here. Pius Suter is still not happy, it looks like. I don't think he's a 70. I really don't, guys. He does not look like a 77 overall to me with these numbers, right? Like, he's got 83 passing, 83 offensive awareness, 83s in the shot, 85 speed, 83 defensive awareness, 83. Like, he should be an 81, low 80s to me. He's playing on their fourth line. That's why. And I think he is upset right now. And he's an all-around good person. He signed through this season. This could be somebody we acquire to make a push to... I mean, it's cheap, right? It's a cheap deal that we could go after it. We could. Pius Suter, finding a trade for him. They want a 4th and a 7th now. Ginning in a 6th or Addard. I could do Ginning in a 6th or Addard in a 4th. Or a 4th and a 7th. I feel like a 4th and a 7th is realistic for a guy like Pius Suter if they just want to get anything for him. But we could scour the networks to see who is unhappy with their current team before we jump into the trade deadline, guys. But all in all, I'm really surprised that we are at the top of our division. Top of the Metropolitan. That's crazy. Let me know what you guys think, what I should be doing at the deadline. I don't think we're as good as we think we are. And I think giving away futures, just my opinion, is a bad idea. But that being said, we could give away players, still make the playoffs, see what happens. Like, trade James Van Riemsdyk, because he's not a guy that I'm going to want to re-sign, right? Get a 2nd and a 3rd for him and just see where we go from there. Cam Atkinson's not going anywhere. It's just really James Van Riemsdyk. Do we sell off from James Van Riemsdyk in some bottom sixers, calling up some of the guys in the AHL that are doing really well? Bobby Brink is leading the team down there in points. 33 points for him. He's a 77 overall depth forward. Really solid. Could get a shot there in the top 6 if we move on from some guys here. Ratcliffe, it's not looking great. Ryan Fitzgerald. Igor Zamula is looking fine, but he's not somebody with too much potential. Ultimately, we have a lot of options in front of us, and that's why I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one.
It's a free for all, free for all.